Hey guys, I'm going to do a video on which one of these products, these cleaners, is the best. Purple Power, Superclean, Zepp, LA's Totally Awesome, dollar store brand. I've got some bolts that are greasy, old bolts that I am going to drop into these shot glasses here. And we'll keep track of them and see which one does the best at cleaning the grease off the bolts just by dropping them in there. The other thing we're doing is this cylinder head that has very dirty ports that need cleaned. You can kind of see if I can get the light down there. Yeah, there you go. They're just really caked on with carbon and gunk. So we're going to try, I'm going to fill up each of these ports with the product. Whichever one we're going to keep track of, which one we pour into which port, and kind of, you can see how dirty that is. It's pretty nasty. Can we get down there a little bit? You can see this is pretty gross. All gross up in here. Same, pretty much same on all of them. So I'm just going to pour however much it takes to fill these ports up. And then we'll dump out what I poured in there and see which one did the better job. So let's get going. Alright, there we go. We've got our bolts and our shot glasses, intake runners full, and we'll come back tomorrow and see how everything looks. Okay guys, here we are. It is now 3 days later. Got busy, couldn't get back to this, so we're going to see what 3 days of soaking did to these intake runners and to these bolts, our shot glasses. So let's just see what happens. Alright, first up, Purple Power. Let's see, just looking at it. This is what we got. Just taking it out of there. Looking at it just right out of there, it looks pretty decent. See what it looks like after we just spray it down with a little more. Not showing up very good, but that's what it is. Looks like I did a pretty good job. I'll be curious to see now what the other ones look like. Alright, next up, Superclean. We'll see what it looks like when we pour it out. So that's what it looks like just right out of the cup after soaking for 3 days. That's what it looks like. Let's spray it down and then wipe it off. And that's about how we're looking on this one. Kinda shows up. Hey, there we go. That's what we're looking like there. How's the threads, the rest of the bolt? Not bad. It's looking pretty good. Hey, stay focused. Not bad, not bad. Alright, next up, we got the Zepp. Can't hardly even see the bolt in there. Wonder what it's going to look like. Oh, that's weird. You can see a little bit of... Hey. You can see a little bit like rust forming or something where the glass and the bolt were touching there. That's weird. What's that about? Anyway, let's pour it out. Interesting. So this one is the Zepp. This one's very peculiar looking. Let's spray it down and wipe it off. Maybe this bolt was just more dirty than the rest, possibly, because the metal itself... Why is this thing having such a tough time with me here? The metal itself that's exposed is pretty clean, but the threads look terrible. Let's spray it down and wipe it off. Weird. This exposed metal in this part of the bolt head just looks perfect, like brand new perfect. And so does this area on the bottom of the bolt. Looks nearly perfect. But the threads are terrible. I don't know. Maybe this test needs repeated on this bolt because that's a weird outcome. Just gonna try like threading it through this rag and see if it does any good. That is helping, so it makes me wonder if like maybe Zepp isn't maybe like the best at degreasing, because when I wipe this off it does come out of there. And it's not like the bolt is all rusted, really damaged wise. It is rusted, but not damage wise. I think that's mostly just grease and dirt in there. It's really weird. But then maybe this one's better if you don't want like a... I'm guessing it must not be very caustic or something. Somehow reacts with the rust to leave you bare metal, I think. Just by looking at it. I don't want to test this one some more because it's interesting. Okay, moving on. Alright, next up, LA's Awesome. This one is weird because it's the clearest out of all of them. It almost looks like it's in like a shot of whiskey or something. It's really weird. The other ones are all murky. Let's see what happens when we pour it out. Interesting. So straight out of there, it is very interesting. It looks like it's got a lot of stuff kind of broken free there, and the metal looks really good where it was just bare metal. don't know if that's grease or rust on the top, maybe probably both. Let's spray it down and wipe it off. Interesting. It seems like LA's Awesome did about a medium job. It's kind of hard to say. I feel like almost they all did pretty equal, to be honest with you. I guess the cylinder head port test hopefully will be the real test. We'll see. But all these bolts look significantly better than they did going in. I'll try to get some comparison photos, but here we go. That's all of them with the bolts. Moving on to the cylinder head. I know there's basically no way this is going to work out in a good way. So, you guys get to watch. It's going to be a disaster. But here we go. Okay, got it in the bucket. And I think, oh boy, look at all that spillage. I think all I'm going to do now is just tilt it down to pour it out. Let's see what happens. Yes. That's not gonna work. Oh boy. Great success. Okay guys, here's the results. Kind of hard to show on the video, of course, but I'll do what I can. So this one was the LA's Awesome. Pretty interesting. This one was the Zepp. Looks not quite as good as the LA's Awesome. This one is the Superclean. It looks like the stuff has been like released from the walls of the intake runner, but we're gonna save that for a second, that experimentation. But it looks like it might have done a good job actually, despite the way it looks right now. Last we had, this one was Purple Power, and it honestly I think looks like it probably did the best. It's hard to say for sure until like there's some wire brushing done, or any kind of brushing, I guess, but it's interesting nonetheless. Can't wait to see how things look once I give everything a little scrub. It's all very interesting though. Okay, let's try this. I messed with the lighting, but it's still going to be shaking awful. Sorry, but here we go. This one is the next one, which was the Zepp. Look at all that crap in there. That's why I had to do this. This is gross. Focus. Here you go. Boy, it's hard to explain how it feels like this one did in comparison to the LA's Awesome. Honestly, I feel like this one is a little more gooey than the last, which was the LA's Awesome, and this one is the Zepp. Seems like it, like you say, you can see like the stringiness sort of in there. So this one is definitely goopier. But I mean, it did obviously do something, but it's not a miracle worker. That's for sure. On to the next. Okay, this one was Superclean. Also gooey so far. It's almost the same kind of consistency, honestly, as the Zepp. You can see how slimy it basically is. Gross. So, I honestly don't know if there's a winner there between the Superclean and the Zepp. Okay, next one. Next and final. Alright, this one is Purple Power. This one seems to have done the best job just out of the gate here. Let's see if we can get any scraping done. Still slimy, like the others, kind of, sorta. But it's hard to say. Well, this is a very difficult test. Alright, I'm going to work on cleaning these things up and just try to see if I can wrap it up with a summary. We'll see. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, I brought the head out here into the sun to see if it could hopefully help our cause of showing what each thing does to these ports. So I scrubbed on these a little bit with a toothbrush. Even out here in the sun, it's difficult to see. Oh well. How's that? So this one was LA's Awesome. And I think it did a good job. This one was Zepp. And I think it did a good job. This one was Purple Power. It did a pretty good job. And this one was Superclean. It also did a pretty good job. So it's super hard to say which one's really the best, honestly. Which is awesome. So that was the point of this test, was to find out which one was the best. I guess if I had to choose, just looking at it with my eyes, I don't know. Jesus. What would I choose? Purple Power. Okay, bye.
And I told him, I said, look, I'm going to be using this in my book, so I think you should read what I say. And he of course wanted to see it. So
what do you think about your book? Did you get it?
Yeah, oh yeah. So he is